Hey everyone, today I'm going to go ahead and do a closeout for the month of October so we can go into November strong. And I'm going to give you a debt update of what I did with my money that I got extra. So let's get straight into that. Hi everyone. Okay, we're going to get straight into this closeout for today. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a wife, a medical coder, and a mom of 6. And I'm on a journey to become debt-free and break generational cycles of debt so the next generation can live and give like they were meant to. And if that interests you and you need help, motivation along your budgeting, debt-free, or wealth-building journey, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and subscribe to be part of a Alignment Joy community and hit that thumbs up so others can find me a little more easily and hopefully will find motivation along their journey. All right, so first off, we're going to get straight into this plan. This is it's actually kind of a combination of my simple planner and my extended planner. But I have a yearly overview. I start off with, I have a budget overview. As you can see, all the scribbles, I am redoing my entire budget. I will explain that more on my budget with me for November because some things have changed and I have to change with them. But before we do that, let's close out October strong. So this is October. At the beginning of the month, I always plan everything that I'm going to hopefully receive and give a projection of what I'm going to do for the month with things that I'm considering, like Halloween and harvest parties and birthdays and any pay increases or decreases. So when we did that, I went ahead and listed out all my planned bills, and now we're going to go through what we actually spent. So I actually made $13,376, whereas I started out with $11,200 projected. Now, before I go any further, I want you to realize that for those of you that are like, holy moly, that's so much. 1, I have 6 kids, so unfortunately the money doesn't go as far as it should. 2, I have been where you have been. I have made as little as $20,000 a year raising children. Most of my child rearing, has gone through $40,000 of a budget, and only recently have we hit this spot, and it's taken years and years of persistent work, side hustles, and learning how to do it. And that's why I'm here, because I want to share it with you. So don't lose heart if these numbers aren't what you want them to be. Just as I don't, I'm going to keep pushing forward, paying off my debt, and getting to where I want to go. So you need to do the same. Anybody can budget, save, and build wealth. Okay. So this is what I actually got. This is from doing side hustles. I sold some of my son's clothes and other things like that. Some yard sales, clothes, some side hustles, and that's where the extra money came from. And now let's figure out what my bills actually were. Let's see here. Let's do this color. So I actually did for tithing $1,130. And so the difference of that was just a overage of 30. So we'll do like it was a little bit more than 30. Next was gasoline. I had allotted for $7.50, but I go ahead and I track. Let me show you here. Once a week, I'll do a little check-in. I don't usually show these on screen because they're just really short, but I'll put in, all my gas, groceries, and anything extra that I spent. So I did really good in the beginning of the month. So I was supposed to do 0 all month, but as you can see, got more. My daughter, right about here in the month, had an emergency, was in the hospital, and she's in Arizona at school. And so I had to fly out there, and it, of course, added to my extras, my groceries, and kind of put a hiccup in my month of finances. Good thing there was a little bit of extra to pull from for plane tickets and things, but it definitely made managing my money and what I wanted to do, which was zero-based budgeting, a little more difficult. Anyway, saying that, this is what I ended up with. For gasoline, I spent $953, and I had allotted I was supposed to do $750. So what overage is that? $953 minus $750. I went over $230. So, and then for my groceries, I did $13.41. And this is also because when I was there, after I got her out of the hospital and stuff, I kind of wanted to fill up her fridge and bless her. And I couldn't help but be that, when you don't see your kiddos as much, you just want to love on them in any way you can. So let's see, $13.41. Okay, minus 1,000, of course, it's going to be $341. So 1341, we were over by 341. Now, if this was going to be a consistent issue, I would increase my allotted amount for next time, making a note here. But this, I believe, was an isolated event because of what happened. You know, I had to do a rental car and had to drive and go get her and all this different stuff. So it increased these, but I'm not going to change the amount. Okay, so my mortgage was the same, $24.50, and the dyslexia school was still $7.95. My cable actually went up, and I do need to change the amount. So it's football season, and my husband wants football channels, and so he works hard, so he gets to spend some money where he feels fit, and he doesn't really spend any money actually, so he's pretty conservative in the spending aspect. So we went ahead and raised the cable to, let's see, I think it's $128. I know you can't see it, but right above here I'm looking at my computer, and I'm actually just looking through my online statement and comparing it to here. So that would be an overage of $128, let's see, minus, we had it at 75, so $53. So I actually want to change this. Let me go ahead and find, you know what, I'm gonna do it in red so that I remember to change this. So we're gonna change it to $128 right there. Okay. Next, my subscriptions, that was the same. And Illuminations, which is my Bible translation that I donate to, that was the same. My phone bill was the same. I think quite a bit of this is my Capital One. Electric, for those of you that are new, this card has been paid off, so what I do is I have my electric bill being put onto it, and then every month, like a week later, auto pay pays that off, so my card won't close, but I don't necessarily have to use my credit card. That kind of keeps it wide open and keeps my credit going. I take that card, I put it in the safe so I don't have access to it. Otherwise, I will spend money on it. Okay. My home security system, that was the same. My let's see here. My credit card was the same, and my car payment was the same. This is another one of my cards, a city card, and I also have that just being auto paid. My car insurance is paid on that at the beginning of the month, and then a few weeks later, an auto payment is paid on that one. And that is remaining the same for now, but there is changes to come on my budget with me for this one. But for this month, it stayed the same. And my Home Depot is the same. And then my Kohl's credit card actually went up for that one, mostly because some of the things that happened with my daughter, I put on that card because it was an emergency. I didn't have access to my money, but it'll be paid down and the payment should go back down. So I'm not necessarily, well, you know what, until it changes, you know, let's go ahead and change it here until, we'll do it to 125, until I make that auto deposit. Okay, so I can remember. Solar is 165, and my car wash is the same. The Gab Kids phone, which has no internet but looks just like a smartphone. If you haven't heard about it, it is amazing. My 14-year-old son loves it, and I feel safe with the fact that he's not being exposed to anything on the internet. Pest control is going to get 40. My easy loan 115. Sally Mae, me and my daughter split her schooling. Amazon still 150. Water and trash the same. And BTC, which is a local sex trafficking people that I partner with, I will put them in the link below. If anybody's in the California area, which is where I live, and is looking to support a local organization that is, I have worked with them and prayed with them and walked with them, and they are an absolutely amazing organization to donate to who's combating sex trafficking right here in California. Believe it or not, it is a huge problem, and it's only getting increasingly worse. I will put them in the link below. You can check them out and see if there's somebody that you would like to partner with as well. And then my Banfield Hospital for Mr. Coda and all of his checkups that he needs was still 40, and the Gardner is, of course, 120. Okay, I'm going to add these up really quick. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to do it really fast, and I'll get right back to you. All right, so we have 9,500. Let's see here. So our actual income was 13,376. my total expenses was $9,594, leaving a leftover of, let's see, 1376 minus 9,594, 3,782. Now we're going to go over to my actual closeout. So now that we know what my bills actually were, we adjusted anything that needs to be adjusted. This is important. So as you're going, things are going to go up and down, and you just want to make sure that you're not overspending and that you don't need to change the amount and nothing's getting fishy in your account. So I went through my entire account while we were sitting here, made sure nothing else popped up that I didn't already plan for or know about. Because you know those sneaky subscriptions and all those weird things that can pop up. This is really important to keep a hold of. And then now let's go to our closeout for our budget. And so first up, we have our debt snowball. And this one we had projected $1,000 from my first paycheck, nothing from my second and third, and then $400 from my fourth and fifth. So if we go back to my projection amount, I projected $1,400 for my debt snowball. So put that here. And we actually did $2,400. So I was over. I like to have a little visual of this. Like, how did I do this month? Well, I was over $1,000 extra in my debt snowball, which, you know, if I didn't have those savings challenges that I completed that helped motivate me, I don't know if I would have ended up doing this. I probably would have ended up spending on something else. I don't do well with just transferring the debt snowball. I need a little more motivation to throw that money at it. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it above. It was super motivating to see the hard work paid off the last few months of me putting money into my savings challenges and being able to put some extra money at it. It would have been more than this, except for I had to pay for my daughter's plane ticket from that emergency. So, but I'm still super excited that I got that $1,000. I will update and show you soon what I did with that. I'm actually going to be able to complete my first large payoff here and move on to my second debt snowball in my list currently. So that's super exciting. All right, my cash envelopes, looks like I had projected 420, but I actually spent 450, so I was over on that one by $30 as well. So that's going to be over. Now on my sinking fund, I projected 190. So we were over on that one as well. Let's see for how much. 285 minus 190, 95 I was over. So as you can see, I put a little bit of that extra money that I had from side hustles, a little bit into cash envelopes, a little bit into sinking funds, and then it mostly into debt. And then I also think my savings challenges was more. Yep, 239 is what was projected. And the reason I love to put a little bit more into this category is it ultimately goes back to debt. Like you saw those savings challenges completed. Well, those ones went back to debt. So that's awesome. Let's see, 424 minus 239. I was able to put an extra 185 in that. And that's what I love to see. I love to see all green, that I was able to replenish more in all the categories. So let's go back here and make sure we actually did everything right. My income was $13,376. My bills were actually $9,594. My debt snowball actually ended up to be the $2,400. My cash envelopes were actually $450. My sinking funds were $285. Savings challenges were $424. And my extra spending, which isn't on here, let's see here. It's a good thing for me to note. My extra spending was $225 from that trip and some things to get that all sorted out. Let's see what we have left over. All right, yep, 0. We're perfect there. And that means all the money got allotted. So that's kind of what I do. I make sure to have all my different categories broken down. If it wasn't for the emergency and I was actually spending a lot of extra money in these categories, I would up them. I love to be able to make sure by just looking at it that it's all in the green, that all my hard work is paying and pushing things forward versus going behind. And then also that that all of my, bills are all laid out and I have a good picture for how I'm going to adjust and budget for next time. So I love that too. Now, before I like to completely end my month, I like to think about just any thoughts or ideas about the month of October, and I'll take these thoughts and ideas and put them forward until my next month. So one thing I do want to think about is I really wanted to do a no spend extra, but the emergency happened. So I'm going to do a zero spend. I really want to do a zero spend November. So this has been something I've tried now for 2 months. It hasn't worked out. I'm going to be honest. Things have happened, or maybe myself have gotten in the way. And so I'm excited to try to accomplish this. Of course, I'm going to spend things I've allotted for it. Like I've allotted for Christmas and I already have money set aside, but nothing not budgeted and necessity, right? Okay. So I definitely want to do that. Number 2, I really want to put extra into my debt. I think once you start really feeling that snowball, you just want to keep fueling it forward. So I just want to keep fueling that forward, seeing how I can increase that debt snowball along the way. And so that's really good. And with my budget, number 3 is I actually have a fun goal. As I was doing my budget, I was talking to my husband about just the disappointment of not doing the zero spend, the emergency hiccup, and my son, who is 14, is like, I think I need to start a budget because it sounds really complicated. And so after having that conversation, I have decided to sit down with my guy, my Mr. Elijah, and budget with him. Even if it's a very simple budget, I want to start his simple budget. He's interested in kids stocks that we're going to do through Fidelity, and I want to get him going on that so he'll have even more success than his parents did in finances and providing for his family and living and giving like he's supposed to. So those are the kind of things in my thoughts for October and things I want to consider going into November. So that's it for my close out for the month of October. I do, though, want to get into this debt snowball real quick, just to do an update of what's going on here. Now, like I said, I wanted to do $1,800 into this and that savings challenge, but things happen and that's the way it is. So my bonus that I actually have towards here, let's see if I can find the color I'm looking for. It was actually 1,000 extra that we're putting in here. So let's go ahead and apply that 1,000. I'm also going to move this cursor over into November so it's ready for next time. The total goal that was achieved, I actually was able to do $2,400 in the month of October. Woo, and I projected $1,400, so I was able to achieve my goal, which was awesome, and I was lacking nothing. That makes me so happy. That is hard to do sometimes, and so it reminds me on the times where I'm feeling really tired at night and I really rather go watch a TV show. Why doing side hustles and keep on working and pursuing debt freedom is so very important. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up. This is my Capital One card. Okay, this was my Cap One card. And of course, it might be confusing in my bills if you've ever watched any of my stuff. I have a Capital One Kohl's card and my husband has a Capital One card. So this is technically my husband's Capital One card. So even though we're both on each other's, he uses one, I use one. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and pay off the rest of this. We have 1,000. So let's see here. Each of these are 75. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 75 times 8. 75 times 8 is 600. So we'll have 400 left to put onto my next one. Let's go ahead and fill these in and complete it. All right, that's it. This is completed. Woohoo! I am so excited that this is done. I'm going to leave it as just a beautiful reminder that I have achieved this, which is wonderful to think about and to be able to focus onto my next one, knowing that it does work, snowballs work, you know. And look, at my debt payoff goal was December. We are in October, so it just goes to show why just doing the snowball would have got me to December, but doing those side hustles and doing those extra things helped me pay this off almost 2 months earlier. That's amazing to me. Okay, so now we're on to my next debt. This is going to be the money pot one I'm going to do. This is going to be for my my EECU credit card. I can just label it up here so we all know. And this, I got a big payoff amount. So the goal amount to pay off is $8,400. And each pot, let's see, $8,400. I counted these earlier. There was 48 pots. So 8,400 divided by 48 pots gives me, okay, I did it backwards. Let's see, 8,400 divided by 48 equals 175. So each pot will be worth 175. And you know, I'm not going to put the goal date. I am just going to hit it as hard as I can. 8,400 should take me, you know, I think 3 or 4 months at least, if not 5 or 6 months. So let's just see what we can do. I have $600 or $400, excuse me, left over. Divided by 175 is like 2. Yeah, 2. So we'll do 2 pots today, and then the rest we'll do more on my next debt payoff. So let's see. I want a different color. What do I want here? Let's do a green. Let's start with green. And last time I started from the bottom to top. Let's start at the top this time and work our way down, okay? All right, that's it. That is the start of our journey. And I know these pots will be a little bit bigger, so it's gonna take a little bit more time. But you know, you gotta just keep pushing forward and doing those. If you haven't already, you know, watched that video where I showed you how to save that money and you didn't click on it before, please go and watch it for inspiration. It was extremely motivating to really push into saving and save that extra money to make this finish quicker. So I will go ahead and put that video here. And if you're always looking for ways where you can increase your side hustles, then I'll put my side hustle video here that will hopefully motivate you to make some more money and pay off your debt a little more quickly. All right, I want you to go ahead and find joy in your journey. And of course, I'll see you next time.